Hello and welcome. Today I'll be creating this mixed media project. I start by tracing out a circle using a bangle. This paper is already prepped with texture paste and it was a little wet at this time, but the messed up portion will be covered later on. I then took some modeling paste and this numbers stencil and went around the circle. Inside the circle will be my main focal image. I want to let you know that this Artjournal page is inspired by Artjournal Prompts, a Facebook group. The topic for week 8 was Spread Your Wings. Once I was done with my modeling paste, I kept it aside to dry. I then took a green floral tape, which is really easy to work with, and I wrapped my bangle with that. Once my modeling paste was dry, I decided to go on and do some more stenciling. This will make my project more dimensional, add some more texture to it. Also, my focal image is a butterfly, so I decided to use some floral images. Notice how I covered up the butterflies here using some washi tape. And here is when I mess up a little by placing my stencil on the wet surface, because of which the leaf underneath it got messed up a little. But then I improvised and used my palette knife to create some more texture, some veins in the leaf. I also decided to add some veins to my leaf using palette knife. Now I prepare my main element for this page. It's a swirl butterfly die cut and I paste it on a scrap white paper using some gel medium. In this way, it will make it easy for me to cut an intricate looking but a steady butterfly. Now that my modeling paste was dry, I went ahead and painted it using grey watercolor. What I wanted to do was create a busy pink purplish scene amidst a greyish plain scene. But because I had stoked texture paste vertically and the grey color in opposite direction, the surface wasn't looking smooth. I did use a lot of water in order to dilute the grey color here. Good part is that I could lift the grey color from the areas I didn't like using a baby wipe. I then took some distress inks in light pink and purplish colors and went over the raised portions on my page. I have to apologize. My camera must have stopped recording, but this is how it looked once I had applied my distress inks. I decided to create my own embellishments for this page using various stamps. I also took these foliage sort of stamps and used Marvi Uchita pens to stamp them. These are reactive to water, and I used pencil colors to bring them to life. It is now time to work on my focal image. I took the altered bangle and glued it using some white glue to a plain pink paper. It matches my distress ink perfectly. Next, I covered the swirls of my butterfly using some glitter. This is lavender color, but it dries transparent. Since I planned to make 2017's motto as Spread Your Wings, I decided to use these spread chipboard numbers. I covered them with modeling paste. This will help in bring out the colors, the vibrant acrylic colors that I'll use later on. I used pearl acrylic colors to color both the numbers. And while the paint was still wet, I went ahead and used this expired makeup product. It's a cheek blush in a very pretty, vibrant and a little glittery pink color. I went over the edges and in a way distressed the edges using my fingers. I used a dry baby wipe to take off the excess color. By this time, my liquid glue had dried and I decided to cut my main focal image. Then I glued this panel onto my main page, inside the circle I drew in the beginning. Putting some weight on it will help it dry faster and without moving around much. Then I took my Marvi Uchida pens again and I went around the edges of the modeling paste, of the dried modeling paste. This made the leaves more vibrant. I did this for both the leaves as well as for the flowers here, using two different color pens. I fussy cut all the stamped images and tried a few combinations. This is how I thought I'll arrange these images. I left some space for my coat. I also added one more of that foliage next to the butterfly. Once I was done with pasting all of these images, I used a variety of glue, including foam tape and some Fevicol. Then I decided I wanted to write my own quote instead of printing it out. So I used the same markers and I wrote my quote in a normal handwriting. But this did not really look vibrant to me, and in order to make the words pop out a little more, because I had used black color for create and inspire, they looked out of element. So later on you'll see that I went ahead and did some outline for the words as well using a black marker. I did some glittering also on the leaves as well as the foliage. I used some purple glitter strips around the edges of my paper to give a more finished look. I added some micro beads in purple color around the butterfly to make it pop a little more. Here are some close-ups of my finished page. I hope this inspires you, and if it does, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching.